That was a great demonstration. The kata was very interesting that you put on there, and the demos you did with Neil were just as exciting. What do you stress when it comes to techniques and using them, I guess, when it comes to on the street applications and getting involved in a confrontation? What would you, I guess, suggest to people and give them tips on?
Well, you know, there's really two ways that you can look at it. The bunkai is really developed from the kata as traditional self-defense technique. And then you have the self-defense, which you're doing for the street, which is, it has to be a lot more practical, a lot quicker.
Right,
But we want to really stress the bunkai because a lot of the people that do kata think the kata is a waste of time. But if they break the katas down and they see what each technique does, you know, from one to the next, they'll really see the benefit of the application. You know, my Goju teacher always says that if you do kata without the feeling of the bunkai, it's really like you're doing calisthenics.
Exactly, yeah. So you have to put more of a heart into it, make it like it's real, like it's actually happening.
Exactly. You have to perform the kata as if it was a self-defense situation. And of course, you know, adapt what's, you know, good for you, because not every technique works for everybody.
Now, is this what you're going to be stressing in your new video series you're coming out with? I mean, is this something that's going to be, that you're going to put forth on tape?
Exactly. What I plan to do is I plan to put the requirements of the system from white to black, and while doing the self-defense, the basic technique, and the katas, I plan on doing the bunkai and showing the application so that people really understand the forms and what they're doing.
So you can walk them through it, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Would this be for anybody that could pick this up and look at it and say, hey, this is something I might be interested in doing, or is this more for people who are involved in your style or in Goju?
It's more for the students of my art, but of course I would like to see more people study my art.
Yeah, of course. And like any art, every art offers something to somebody out there in some way and form, because they all derive from the same foundation.
Exactly. Sure.
Which is great. And when do you plan to come out with this video series now?
Well, we're researching right now. We're hoping within the next 6 months we have the start to it.
Okay. All right, great. Let's talk a little bit about Florida now. I know the Hall of Fame, the World Martial Arts Hall of Fame, we had both been inducted in that. It was a fun time.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of talent.
Yeah, and I guess hopefully this is something that will be one of many things to come, I guess. And what was your feelings on getting that? I mean,
well, you know, it was very prestigious. It was very nice being with so many world-renowned martial artists and being there with them. So
how many people were there again? I think like 700, right?
Yeah, I think 700 to 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really packed. Yeah, the tournament, everything was very successful.
Yeah, it really was. And it was just as exciting for me as it was for you. And
sure.
It was great. And that's when you and I really first met, was down in Florida, and we kind of hooked up, and it was really, really good, like a connection there.
Common grounds, yes.
Yeah, common grounds and all the different things we went through. It's important. And like you said, we met a lot of very important people down there. People who have been studying for as many years as you have, even more.
Sure.
And as you know, last week we had Professor Stewart on. Who,
yes, real gentleman. I had the pleasure of meeting him several weeks ago. I've always heard about the man, but I never saw him perform. Real technician. Who's
one of the more impressive people that you've trained with, or worked out with, or had the chance of, I guess, meeting? When you come to mind, what
you mean
martial artists or martial artists that you've come across that really sticks in your head, that this was great, that I wish that this now, you know, if anybody I would pick out of anybody I've met, this is the one person I want to meet again.
Oh, naturally, Michael Di Pasquale, of course. Meeting him several times. He's a real dynamo. Bill Wallace.
Michael, if you're listening, Mark is down. Give you that plug.
He can pay me later.
Yeah, yeah, Michael is good. And you are a former representative.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
And you work with a lot of charities. Anything come up for holidays and charity-wise that you're looking to get into, or?
Well, right now we have a lot of different projects. We're not sure where we're going to go with it.
Okay. And pretty much working with the kids, or working
Sure.
with...
Sure, doing benefits, things that will benefit children that are, of course, needy.
Yeah.
You know, wherever it's needed, we want to be there.
Okay. And one of the big questions I always ask guests, and some guests don't know how to answer this sometimes, where do you see martial arts going? Do you see good? Do you see bad? Do you see...
I see it mixed, It's good that it's becoming so popular, but by the same token, I think it's all... Like going back to 1973 with the Bruce Lee era, a lot of people want to jump on the bandwagon, and there's going to be a lot of unqualified teachers, people operating at basements and garages and first-degree black belts that, you should have 15 years experience before you open up a school and at least be assigned on a third-degree black belt,
Exactly.
Otherwise, you really shouldn't be teaching.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's my personal feeling.
No, and you're right. And a lot of guests who've come on and other martial artists I've spoken to who've been in the arts for a long time, they express the same thing about the watered-down styles now, and everything's become so saturated that people get turned off when they go to a school and they learn something. They say they don't see what they don't really get anything out of it. They think that's all karate.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. They may never walk into a good school or ever, have anything good to say about karate or any martial art.
Yeah, which I think is giving it kind of like a bad name in a way. So,
yeah.
Do you see a lot? Do you see some of these schools hopefully phasing out? Maybe eventually.
Yeah, I hope.
Grow it until every corner has one. I mean.
Yeah. I hope that the general public will be aware and investigate the instructor's credentials, see where he came from, and choose a school that's had a good reputation, that's been in the area for a long time, and not somebody that just opened up for a couple of months and jump on the bandwagon.
The fly-by-nighters and those who get you to sign contracts for 2 years in advance, and all of a sudden they disappear with your money.
Sure, and charge a lot of money.
Right. Now, you just recently, we covered up the Trojan Festival up in Connecticut.
Yes.
With Andre Tippett and Chuck Merriman, but you happened to be there for a couple of days yourself.
Yeah, it was a training seminar for 2 days under Sensei Higaonna, and it was 2 days of kata and a lot of, hard basic kihon technique. It was very good. It was 2 days nonstop, and it was very rewarding to see people from all over the world training with a common purpose.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries up there. What was some? I think France was there.
Sweden, France, the Netherlands, Germany.
Bermuda was there.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. That's quite a festival they held up there.
Imagine 250 black belts all ki-eyeing at the same time, and the energy was unbelievable.
They think stadiums get loud.
Yeah.
250 martial artists is quite a bit of ki-eyeing.
Yeah.
All right, great. I had a good time, and of course, we could always go on with a lot more, but I appreciate you coming down, and it's good seeing you again.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, great. And always shake your hand there.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. All right, great. When we just let you people know, we put up the write-in and so forth, so you can write into the show. Please write in. We're starting to get some letters in. We're starting to receive some of your views and ideas, and we're starting to implement some of them. We'd also like to hear about anything that you'd like to know about, as well as confrontations you may have come across, or things that you want to wonder about when it comes to crime or self-defense, or anything about our guests that come on the show. So please write in, and don't hesitate to put anything down on paper. Okay, so until next week, kick back.